The human body is supposed to have rules. Pain should protect you, memory should fade, faces should look familiar, and your brain should always own your hands. But real medical cases show the opposite: people who don't feel pain, people who remember almost every day of their life, and brains that rewrite reality in ways that sound fictional. Tonight, every example is documented. The mystery is why the body can do this at all. In each case, I'll tell you what medicine can explain, and what still feels incomplete. These aren't superpowers, in the simple sense. Many come with serious risks. But they reveal something unsettling. The line between normal and impossible is thinner than we think. Some people are born with an inability to feel pain, often linked to rare genetic differences affecting pain signaling. Doctors understand key pathways, but the mystery is how the brain adapts when one of the body's most important alarms is missing. Pain isn't just suffering, it's information, and without it, injuries can go unnoticed until they become dangerous. It's a medical condition that looks like a superpower from the outside, but behaves like a hidden trap. A small number of people report remembering an extraordinary amount of daily life in vivid detail, sometimes across decades. Researchers can study memory patterns, but the mystery is mechanism and cost. Why does the brain store so much, and how does it avoid drowning in its own archive? Perfect memory isn't always a gift. Some describe it as being unable to escape the past. It's proof that forgetting is not a failure, it's a feature. In rare neurological cases, a person's hand can move in ways that feel not mine, grabbing objects or undoing actions without conscious intent. Brain imaging links it to disrupted control networks, but the mystery is the experience itself. How can your own body behave as if it has a separate will? It's one of the clearest demonstrations that free will is not a single switch, it's a fragile coordination between brain systems. After certain brain injuries or neurological changes, some people suddenly speak with a different accent pattern, even though they never learned that accent as a native speaker. Medicine can explain changes in speech motor control, but the mystery is why the brain's speech identity can flip so dramatically. The result can sound like a new person living in the same body. It shows how much of who we are is embedded in tiny timing signals we don't consciously control. In some historical medical cases, the connection between brain hemispheres has been surgically cut to treat severe epilepsy. This can reveal that each hemisphere processes the world differently, sometimes producing conflicting behaviors. Scientists can demonstrate these effects in controlled tests, but the mystery is philosophical and biological. How does one self emerge from two semi-independent processors? It's a living reminder that consciousness is constructed, not guaranteed. Some people with damage to the visual cortex report being blind in part of their vision, yet they can still guess shapes or movement they're better than chance. Researchers study alternative visual pathways, but the mystery is what the brain is doing with information it refuses to show to consciousness. It's like the mind is receiving a signal, using it, and then denying it existed. Reality, in the brain, is not the same as input. In synesthesia, one sense can trigger another. Letters may have colors, sounds may have shapes, numbers may feel spatial. Researchers propose stable cross-activation patterns, but the mystery is why the brain builds these extra links and how consistent they can remain across a lifetime. For some, it's beautiful, for others, it's overwhelming. Either way, it proves perception is not universal. Two people can live in the same world and experience different realities. Some individuals report feeling touch sensations on their own body when watching someone else being touched. There are theories involving heightened empathy networks and sensory mirroring, but the mystery is boundaries. Why does the brain fail to separate me from not me at the level of sensation? It's a reminder that empathy might not just be emotional, it can be physical. In rare situations, a person can have two distinct genetic cell lines, often due to early developmental fusion. Medicine can test DNA from different tissues and find mismatches, but the mystery is how common mild forms might be without detection. It can even complicate identity testing in extreme cases. The idea is unsettling. Your DNA may depend on where you sample it. Studies show that small numbers of cells can pass between mother and fetus and persist for years, sometimes decades. Researchers investigate possible roles in immune function and tissue repair, but the mystery is what these cells truly do long-term. The body may carry biological traces of another person in a way that's measurable, not metaphorical. It's one of the strangest examples of how humans are not as separate as we assume. In this extremely rare condition, soft tissues can gradually form bone, limiting movement over time. Doctors understand some genetic drivers, but the mystery is control. Why does the body activate a bone-building program in the wrong place, and why does it flare unpredictably? It's biology behaving like a misfired construction crew that won't stop building. A terrifying reminder that regeneration can go wrong. After an amputation, some people feel vivid sensations, or pain, in a limb that no longer exists. Neuroscience links this to brain maps and nerve signaling, but the mystery is persistence. Why does the brain keep running a body model that reality can't match? The pain can be real even when the limb is not. It exposes how strongly the brain insists on its internal blueprint. In certain neuropsychiatric conditions, a person may recognize a loved one's face but feel they're an imposter. The theory involves a disconnect between face recognition and emotional familiarity signals, but the mystery is how a single broken link can rewrite trust instantly. It's a frightening example of how belief can be generated by circuitry, not evidence. The brain can label reality as fake, without asking permission. Some people lose the ability to form new long-term memories after specific brain damage, while older memories and intelligence can remain. Medicine understands regions involved, but the mystery is subjective time. How do you live when yesterday never becomes permanent? Each day can reset into fragments, with learning reduced to repetition and routine. It's a powerful window into how memory creates continuity and identity. There are rare reports of sudden changes after injury or neurological events where a person develops unusual skills like detailed drawing, music, or calculation. Scientists remain cautious and debate mechanisms, but the mystery is possibility. Does the brain unlock latent processing modes under disruption, or are these exceptional coincidences amplified by attention? Even the debate itself is part of the mystery. The brain may be more flexible and stranger than we want to admit. Some connective tissue conditions can produce unusual flexibility and joint range, sometimes far beyond what seems physically possible. Doctors understand collagen-related factors, but the mystery is trade-off. Flexibility often comes with pain, instability, and injury risk. What looks like an impossible body trick can hide a constant medical burden. It's the body bending the rules and paying for it. Some research suggests a small subset of people, often women, may have 4 types of cone photoreceptors, which could allow finer color discrimination. The mystery is real-world perception. Even if the biology exists, does the brain actually use it to experience more colors, or does it get compressed into normal perception? It's a fascinating reminder that the limits of human vision might not be the same for everyone. Some people can recognize faces with extraordinary accuracy, even after brief exposure and long time gaps. Researchers study pattern recognition and memory differences, but the mystery is why this ability varies so widely. In modern life, it can look like a power, yet it also raises uncomfortable questions about surveillance and privacy. The human brain can become a database without trying. In some severe neurological conditions, a person can remain conscious and aware while losing almost all voluntary muscle control, sometimes retaining only eye movement. Medicine can describe the injury pathways, but the mystery is communication. How much of the inner mind remains intact, and how can we reliably detect it? It forces a hard question. How often do we underestimate awareness because we can't see it? Certain sleep disorders can produce complex behaviors, walking, talking, even performing tasks, while the person remains largely unaware. Scientists study sleep stages and brain arousal networks, but the mystery is coordination. How can the body execute structured behavior when consciousness is offline? It's a reminder that you are not always in the driver's seat, even when your body is moving. These cases aren't myths, they're real medical puzzles that show how the body can break its own rules. We can measure the symptoms, map parts of the mechanism, and still face gaps that feel almost unreal. Comment the case that shocked you most, and tell me what theme you want next. Subscribe to World of Mysteries.